Log continuation. It's 20 after 5 p.m. West Coast time, January 15th, 2025. President Joe Biden has done his last address to the nation, and there will be a lot of people talking about this a great deal. Be talking about his accomplishments. They'll be talking about the incoming administration coming in. People will be talking up a storm for up until even past the inauguration of the old gas bag. Already, uh, the maggots are ready for this. They are going to say whatever they're going to say to counteract whatever President Biden has said, and they will no doubt go absolutely flippant on it. And they will. They will. Fox News already ignored the whole damn thing anyway. Everybody else got it. And there's other independent media already talking about it anyway. So they're going to be hammering on each other left and right. I'll probably be watching some of it. If I hadn't seen anything on the YouTube yet, I'm just trying to see some of the other people who normally would be talking about this. How am I feeling about this change? Well, this basically cements it a bit about Joe Biden's legacy, and now our holy terror with the Biden, actually with the Trumplicans in office, to do what they're going to be doing and to laugh their asses off and to get away with every scallywag thing that they can do. Because after all, they're scallywags. Probably people can't expect me for saying that, but I'm saying it anyway on record. Because these guys who came in, voted in by the public, because I don't know why the public didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris in the first place. For whatever reason, they got the Trumplicans back in office. And now they are going to be doing whatever they're going to be doing to make sure our life is going to be a living hell. But that's the fear mongering I kept hearing, but I don't hear any positive reassurances except to the confirmation hearing that the United States Senate had been trying to put through the Secretary of Defense position, Attorney General position, and every other damn position that the Trump is trying to push his political agenda. That would be my dog. That's not the political agenda. That's just dealing with reality right now. I hit the lights. Hey, I'm going to hit the lights. You just settle down. I'm not going back in there yet. Is that better? Is that better, old flex budget? Keep going. I know a lot of people are going to be talking about this a great deal. They're going to be putting up their opinions left and right. Corporate media is going to be doing the same thing. Uh, Independents are going to be having a field day over this damn thing. And they will be. It's guaranteed. It's guaranteed they're going to be talking about this a great deal. And I don't know which particular person or section I'm going to be listening to more of, because they're going to be going on the deep end on this one about what Biden has tried to do and some of the policies that he's been trying to follow. Yes, there had been, or actually at this point in junction, a peace treaty with the hostages hopefully to be released from Hamas. Israel finally got off its dead ass to do something, but we'll see what happens. It's been over a year, nearly a year and a half, since this crap happened with them. So we're going to see what happens with this. Meanwhile, I'm going to be hearing the back and forth on this. I'm going to be hearing the back and forth on this one. And what I'm trying to do is get one of the channels to listen to see whether or not if they've actually have gone live, and nope, apparently not. At least not one of the guys I wanted to listen to in the first place. I'm just waiting for the independents to talk it up a storm. I was trying to see if one of them was actually on live, and I should have been doing that already. I should have been. But we all had to do what we had to do to get our... They'll gather as much information. They'll go over Biden's address. I'll get the hard copy when I can. I've got ABC News at least on, so I'll be listening to them with or without the damn commercials. My dog is going nuts. And everybody else is going off right now. Okay, opinions. My own personal opinions. Biden tried. That's the only thing I can say for his administration. It's the only thing I can say. Some decisions were made that he had to, and other decisions probably were rotten, but they'll come up and bite him in the ass one day or another. But he's out 30 or 40 plus years, or more than that, of public service. More than that. An elder statesman, ambassador to the world. Apparently not so much to my dog. She's just going to be wandering around all over the place, wondering how come I'm not here. Come on, they're over here. Come here. You're going to be fussing. Let's show you to the rest of the world again. Yeah, you're going to be that way about it. She must be obeyed, the Madam Fuss Budget herself. This is the mamas. She ain't saying hello to the rest of the world, unfortunately. She is just stressing out. Yeah, you're stressing out. I know you are. So, now since he's officially said farewell to the troops, we have 4 days and some odd hours left until the inauguration happens. Michelle Obama is not going to be at it because she is not going to deal with anything at all with Trump. Trump had already been after her family, and she's got a grudge. I don't blame her. I don't blame Miss Michelle on this one. I mean, I'd have a grudge with Trump too, and the rest of the Trumplicans. They're idiots. Trump kept saying all this damn word salad that the people are eating up, and they're going to follow him because they can't help it. They're cultists. They're devoted. They're worse than Jim Jones. Worse than David Koresh. Worse than the rest of them knotheads out there that hole up people left and right, brainwash the living crap out of them, and then take them out with suicide or something else goes on. I mean, no, I'm not dealing. I mean, the Trumplicans just buy it up. If he doesn't pardon on the first day of all those people that supported and swore fealty to him, this is going to be the loneliest 4 years he's going to have, but he doesn't care. He uses people up left and right. He had gimcracks going on that people bought because they thought he was a genius. He kept telling him he was a genius. It was a business genius. He knew. No, he knew how to con them like crazy, and that's how he got his relationships going. Conned them as well. So, I don't know if we're going to have the same 4 years like we had Or is it going to be worse than that? That's why with all the people coming through the Senate hearings, we hear the knees knocking. We hear the rush to get disposable pads in their, you know, underneath. Because if they can't go to the bathroom fast enough, they're not going to be leaking on their clothing. That's for damn sure. By the way, I still got several pads if they still want to borrow them or use them. Still got a package and half on that. So I don't know, and I am not going to forecast like everybody else is. We're waiting, we're counting down, and we're going to see if we're going to be getting into Armageddon yet. Meanwhile, at the end of my birthday, or actually end of this birthday month, I'll be having my birthday. I'll be turning 59. I am going to be turning into an old fart. Wait a second, I already turned an old fart, especially when I'm 850, so what the hell. I got the gray. I need to shave it off. I need to get a haircut in the worst possible way. Hopefully, if I happen to dig school money, maybe I can do that for myself. What do you think? Get a whole new look. Just so I don't have to keep looking like... Yeah. I'm not changing my teeth just yet. I am. Just the facial stuff, but that's about it. Am I worried about Trump's going to be changing the world? Well, see, between 2016 and 2020, he tried. And we saw a lot of anger. We saw a lot of vitriol. We saw a lot of diatribes. We saw a lot of marches that are angry. And body counts count. They're going to be talking about massive deportations. There was rumors and innuendos. California ain't going to have any help recovering from the fire. None. We're going to have what they kept saying, all these replicants. We're going to have armed soldiers. Nobody talked about this one here, this particular phrase over here. Posse comitatus. We're going to do all right, boys and girls. Posse comitatus. I'm going to be doing the Wikipedia explanation of it, or the BrennanCenter.org. I think I'll do BrennanCenter.org. What the hell? But everyone else is me doing a Wikipedia, so we're going to do that. The Posse Comitatus Act. So according to Wikipedia, what they had recorded, it is a federal law. 18 U.S.C. Section 1385, originally at 20. According to statute 152 and God knows what else. Or 152 actually. Signed on June 18th, 1878 by President Rutherford B. Hayes. That limits the powers of the federal government in the use of federal military personnel to enforce domestic policies within the United States. Congress passed the act as an amendment to an Army Appropriations Bill following the end of the Reconstruction period and updated in 1956, 1981, and 2021. Basically saying we can't use military force against people. Except for we're doing humanitarian aid. In the case of the wildfires that we're having in California, we have the National Guard assisting on security and also with supplies and whatever is needed, but in a non-combat situation. Unfortunately, people are going to bring up, oh, shut up, computer. I know you need to do another frickin' update, you pain in the ass. We had, back in 1992, riots that happened because of a trial that didn't go the way the public wanted it to go. You've heard about the Rodney King situation. It started out the LA riots in 92 on this. Back in 91, Rodney King was zipping around drunk as hell, being chased by the cops. One guy that got his video camera out was in an apartment complex where the stuff started to happen, and he filmed it. And that clip, it's just still out there to this day, was the fire of its own Godzilla that bit us in the ass on this one. In '92, and the riots happened. In a courthouse in Simi Valley, California, 4 officers got off on criminal charges. And LA, South Central LA, became Flashpoint. And it spread. I think after the second or third day, we got the National Guard in. Without bullets, but they got in. But they had their weapons, so who could tell? But that was the only time I remembered having National Guard patrolling areas that the riots were happening and trying to keep a curfew going. And LA had to have a curfew throughout the entire city districts and boundaries. That included the San Fernando Valley. Anything regarding a county, forget it. But maybe they also declared it too. I forgot about that one. But I remember. That was the only time I remember we actually had a curfew was armed. But they weren't. They were just there to scare the crap out of people. The thing is, the act will not prevent National Guard, either the Army or Air, from acting as a law enforcement capacity, according to what the act is. If the president says we need the National Guard mobilized, he's going to mobilize it. But this is not to say that a column of Army tanks with regular military is going to be. Posse forbids that. But the National Guard is a different story altogether. Even the Coast Guard and under the Department of Homeland Security is not covered. So, yeah, they'll be doing the waterways. They won't be doing land. Also, in the title of the act comes the legal concept of posse comitatus, the authority under which a county sheriff or another law officer can conscript any able-bodied person to assist in keeping the peace. Basically, you're deputized. I wonder how many deputies we're going to have around now. This is not easy for us to chew on. There have been sections that people have said that we are not going to have this happen in our lifetime. We are not going to have a military force here to do illegal search and seizures. Unless, of course, the county sheriffs have it burp their ass to do so. They're not going to get military in there, but they'll draft anybody else they want. And that's what scares the hell out of people. It's not the military version of it. It's what a local sheriff can do by getting a posse for himself. You heard about the old Wild Wild West stories? Fiction and nonfiction? Where we're going to be chasing after a bad guy or a guy who already robbed a bank. And the sheriff needs to get help. So he deputizes temporarily people around him into a posse to chase the guy down. We've seen it in many movies, films, televisions, books, and everything else. But it's based off of this. Based under that concept of posse comitatus. It's not the easiest damn thing to deal with. People are still thinking that we're going to have military action happen. We're going to have armed guards busting through places, through homes without arrest warrants. They're wondering if habeas corpus is going to be suspended at this point. So let me find out about habeas corpus. Okay, habeas corpus. We'll go to Merriam's. Merriam-Webster on this one. Okay, Merriam. Any of the several common law writs issued to bring a party before a court or judge, especially habeas corpus ad subjectum, whatever the hell that is. There's also another one. This is habeas corpus being a noun. Okay. Also, the right of a citizen to obtain a writ of habeas corpus as a protection against illegal imprisonment. Uh-huh. They're trying to find ways to make sure that there is no illegal entry or forced arrest without probable cause. I'm not a lawyer. I'm trying to understand this as a civilian. If I had taken classes before, if I had gone through law school, I would have been able to give you the word salad of what the hell it means and why is this so important. But right now, I don't know if it's going to be used that way or not. It'll be interesting to see it. Wiki will narrow it down a little bit. It's a prerogative writs. So according to Wick, it's a Latin. You should have the body. Interesting. It's an equatable remedy by which a report can be made to a court alleging the unlawful detention or imprisonment of an individual and requesting the court order the individual's custodian, usually a prison official, to bring the prisoner to the court to determine whether the detention is lawful. Basically. Do you have the evidence to make this possible? Do you have power? No, do you have any documentation? Do you have something coming from the court saying that, yes, we are arresting you because of this situation here? Do we have a court order saying that? Do we have an arrest warrant? Do we have a warrant for your arrest? Do we have that? Do we have probable cause of entering into your place? Is there any other legal terms that we use to get into your place without breaking any laws or federal, any due process or Bill of Rights? That's what people are afraid right now, because with those who are trying to get into the cabinet, want to suspend and get rid of it. That's the consensus and the feeling and the in between the lines I'm getting from those who are watching all this stuff and doing the reports on it. I'm getting it from them. I'm not going to start throwing out conspiracy theories at this point. I'm not going to start pointing the finger or pointing the blame saying, see, it's their fault. No, I blame the voters because you were stupid enough to vote these assholes in the first place. And I still hold that contention. If you didn't listen, if you didn't vote the other way at this point over here, we wouldn't have this fear-mongering going on. But yeah, we'll have the racial tension going on. But not to the point where we're afraid of our civil liberties and our rights are going to be desecrated. That's how it is. So now we got a few days more to fear and panic and freak people out. Are we happy yet? I hope you are.